everybody, it's Lee from Andertons here, and today we're going to talk about what are pedals. Maybe you've got a guitar a little bit like this, a little amplifier from a pack or something like that, and you're wondering, how do I get my guitar to sound like my guitar heroes? Almost every guitar player, whether they've got little amps like this or massive stacks, are going to have a bunch of these pedals at their feet. A pedal is a little electronic device that you plug your guitar into one side and then out the other goes into your amplifier. And each pedal will add a certain type of characteristic or effect to your guitar sound. Pedals can have a variety of knobs on them. They'll all have a switch which turns the pedal on and off. And then these knobs here, some will have 2 or 3 knobs, some might have 4 or 5 knobs on them. They'll all just adjust the characteristics of that pedal. Pedals are super easy to use. There really is no right or wrong with regards to how you set them up. You just find the tone that you like. Loosely speaking, there are 4 kinds of guitar effects pedal. You've got pedals that create a drive or a distortion sound. You've got pedals that create a modulated sound. You've got dynamic pedals that will affect the EQ shape of your guitar. And you've got ambient pedals that will add things like reverb or echo. In this video, we're just going to very loosely talk through how each of those kinds of effects sounds. So where do you start? Well, on the floor here, I've got what are called individual effects pedals. There are literally thousands of those to choose from. You can pay anything from £25 up to hundreds of pounds for a pedal. I've got a selection of some of the more affordable ones on the floor. You could also buy what's called a multi-effects unit, and we'll throw a couple on screen now. These are single devices, a bit bigger than a pedal, but will have several of these kinds of effects built in. That's often the most cost-effective way to get several guitar effects pedals at once. Or maybe your guitar amplifier has some effects built into it. This one's pretty simple. It's got a little bit of overdrive built in and a little bit of reverb built in, but there are amplifiers on the market that come with tons of effects built in. If you've decided to go down the pedal route rather than multi-effects or an amp with effects built in, you might be wondering how you plug them in and how you power them. It's super simple. A lot of pedals can be powered with a 9-volt battery, but I like to use a power supply because it does mean that I'm not wasting money replacing batteries every few weeks. A 9-volt power supply like this one plugs into a regular mains socket, and then at the other end you've got this little barrel connector, and that plugs into the back of the pedal like this. If you've got several pedals, you can buy more expensive power supplies that are designed to run several pedals at once, or a really cost-effective way of doing this is to buy these sort of daisy chain power expander things. So we take the same 9-volt power supply that we had to do our one pedal, we plug it in like this, and then essentially we can do 5 pedals off of the one power supply. In terms of plugging the actual pedal into the guitar signal, you can see I've got this pink cable coming out of my guitar. That goes into the side of the pedal called input, and then the black cable is the one that's carrying on and going into the front of the guitar amplifier. If I want to run more than one pedal at once, I can buy these short cables, we call these patch cables, and then again the guitar goes into the first pedal and you put the patch cable in and you just join up as many pedals as you want, like this. You will need to power each pedal as well. The order in which you chain up your pedals will change the sound when you're plugging them all on. There are guidelines around what you would typically have first in the chain and last in the chain and things like that, but there's actually no rules. If you like the sound the way you've chained them up, then you go with that. But typically speaking, I go with my drive pedals first, my modulation pedals second, and my ambient pedals last. But like I say, you do whatever you want to do. If you're wondering which pedal you need to buy first, it really doesn't matter. The Andertons YouTube channel has got hundreds and hundreds of videos on all sorts of different pedals, so by all means go and watch some of those and really just build up your pedal collection in whatever order you fancy. So now we're going to have some playing clips of what each pedal sounds like. This is an overdrive pedal, and an overdrive pedal is designed to add gain or distortion to your amplifier that emulates a smooth, mid to low gain vintage tube amplifier. This is a distortion pedal. Distortion pedals are typically higher gain than an overdrive pedal, good for heavier rock or metal. This is a fuzz pedal, which is a real old school vintage vibe of a drive pedal. This is a chorus pedal, which is a type of modulation pedal, which I mentioned at the beginning. There are several types of modulation pedal, chorus probably being the most popular, but you may have heard of flanger or phaser. If you're liking this kind of sound and you're interested in what a phaser or a flanger sounds like, jump onto YouTube, check it out. But it's like it's going to take my clean signal and it's going to apply like a wavy sound to it, kind of thickens the sound. I really like it. This is a tremolo pedal. Tremolo is another modulation effect, and actually you used to get this effect built into quite a lot of old vintage guitar amplifiers. This is a compressor pedal. It's probably the most subtle of all the pedals I'm going to show you today. What it does is it takes my guitar tone and it kind of squeezes it and compresses it into something that when you're playing certain styles of guitar, funk, things like that, that generally it's just a nice tighter sound. Definitely though, one of the harder pedals to hear what's happening. This is a delay pedal, sometimes called an echo pedal. Honestly, I think if I could only have two pedals, I would have a drive pedal and an echo pedal. It's used so commonly by guitar players. But anyway, let's check this one out. Lastly, we've got a reverb effect. Now, actually, reverb is often built into your guitar amplifier, so you may not need to get a pedal like this. But if you don't have reverb, you are missing out. And in actual fact, quite often, the reverb in a pedal will actually sound better than the reverb that's in the amplifier as well. I got a couple of other pedals on the floor here. I've got a tuner pedal, that's pretty common. So if you don't want to have to use like a headstock tuner or a little freestanding tuner, you can have tuners in your chain, and this display will light up and help you tune your guitar. This is a little wah-wah pedal. Impossible to really demonstrate to you sitting on the floor. So what I'm going to do to finish this video is I'm going to chain up a few of these pedals, stand up and jam out. Chaining up pedals and working out what combinations give you the sound that you want is probably most of the fun of owning pedals. They are dangerously addictive. Most guitar players, if you talk to them, will own loads of different pedals through their guitar playing career. It's a brilliant way to get into it because, as I said before, some of these pedals start from as little as 20 or 30 pounds, so you can really get into it on a budget. You can build your board up over time, and you can swap different pedals in and out as you change them and find other pedals you like more. So please, If you think this sounds cool, hopefully this little video has been helpful. But remember, there are dozens and dozens more videos like this on the Andertons channel. Some where we review individual pedals, some where we put together massive pedal boards. A really useful one, and a fairly recent one, was where we made a pedal board up using affordable pedals and compared it to a multi-effects unit to see the pros and cons of those. But yeah, please like and subscribe to this channel. There's tons and tons of information about guitars, amps and pedals. A new video every single day, and prizes as well that go out to subscribers every time we hit a new 10,000 subscriber mark. So that's it. Thank you very much. I've been Lee. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in another video soon.